boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. What else she need to slide up to the table with?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? It's your boy Jay Larone. I'm just coming in this morning. I want to talk to y'all real quick about about the Steve Harvey situation. You know what I mean? I know everybody's been talking about it. You know, calling Steve Harvey a simp. There was some things Steve Harvey said, you know, in that interview with Shannon Sharp. Wasn't quite right. You know what I mean? You know, I know Steve is up there in age. Steve is 66. You know, he's got some experience, and I know a lot of people don't agree with what everything Steve says, you know, and I agree. You know, there's some things Steve be saying, man, that don't be jiving right, you know what I mean? So, you know, he do have some points here and there, but for the most part, yeah, he be giving some wrong advice. You know what I'm saying? He really does be out here giving some bad advice to people, man. And I'm going to talk about, you know, what he was saying with Shannon Sharp, right? And man, this is crazy. Y'all excuse me, I got allergies, so you know this is that time of the year. You know, my allergies start kicking in. You know, got all this ragweed and pollen down here in Texas, man. This mountain cedar and whatever else, you know, be coming through. But yeah, normally about this time every year, you know, they start messing with me. But so I apologize if I'm sounding stuffy or whatever. But yeah, so you know what Steve was saying about, you know, women on the table, right? And of course we know that's false. You know, we see it all the time. But what he's doing, he's giving the women extra ammunition, right? Because we hear it all the time, right? With the women saying they are the table. I bring myself to the table, you know, I got the WAP and, you know, the box and all that. So, and that's what a lot of them believe. A lot of black women believe that they are the table. All they have to do is show up and sit there and look cute. You know what I mean? You know, it's crazy. So when Steve said that, that just like, you know, amplified it, you know, pretty much. You know, now you're gonna have women, you know, it kind of set things back a little bit, because now you're gonna have these women out here saying, well, Steve Harvey said, see, I told you we the table. You know what I mean? You know how they do. So, you know, now you're gonna have women hollering, they the table, Steve Harvey said we the table. We don't really listen to Steve like that. Just want y'all women to know, we really don't listen to Steve like that. So y'all can kill that. We don't want to hear that you are the table because Steve Harvey said it. No, we're not going with that, man. We're not doing that today. Not over here. So what I wanted to break down a little bit about what Steve said is kind of contradictory to how, you know, the women in his life. So of course we know Steve was saying that, you know, women are the table because women bring they womb, they able to give life, they able to make another you, which basically saying, you know, women bring their womb to the table, right? And that's it. And we're supposed to support that. Even though women don't care about women don't really care about their womb anyway, because they bring in a used womb. You know what I'm saying? Majority. You know, they're bringing a womb that's been ran through. They're bringing a womb that's probably done knocked out about 3 or 4 kids, you know? So, no, we can't be doing that. Ain't no way that you can sit up here and say that I'm gonna accept you with your used womb because you're a woman and that's what you bring to the table. Steve, you gotta cut that out, man. you giving some bad advice here, dog. You giving some bad advice, bro. But so in the interview, Steve had talked about his mom, right? How his mom elevated his dad. She taught him how to read, right? So, I mean, what we're saying is that she elevated his dad, so that means his mom brought more to the table than just her womb, right? Because she brought value to his dad. She brought value to him. She taught him how to read, you know what I mean? And she did other things, to keep that household together. And, like I said, she added value, right? So why is it that his mom brought more to the table than just her womb, right? But he out here telling guys now that that's all a woman needs to bring, right? And the same thing with Marjorie, the woman he's married to now. I know a lot of people don't, I know y'all feel a certain way towards her because, I think Tasha K just did an interview with her ex-husband, the guy that was in jail, the drug dealer or whatever he is, allegedly, I don't know. But anyway, he just got out of jail. And I think Tasha K did an interview with him. But like I said, a lot of people can have some bad things to say about Marjorie. But according to Steve, in his own words, Marjorie added value to him. Marjorie added value to his life. She had him change, like the way he dressed and other things about how he conducted his life and how he conducted his business. Because back in the day, Steve used to wear these crazy suits, man. Steve was loud. He had these suits, man. They were like, real baggy, loose or whatever. He had the big jackets with the slit in the back. You know what I mean? The Steve Harvey collection, he had the slit in the back of his jacket. And then the jackets came all the way down to your knee. You know what I'm saying? Steve was like a modern day pimp. You know what I'm saying? The suit Steve had was kind of like those 1940s, 1950s zoot suits, man. Y'all remember those, them zoot suits, them pimp suits, you know what I mean? So that's how Steve was dressing for a while. He was loud, with the yellow suits and, his suits was pretty colorful. Steve was colorful. He was loud. Even when he wasn't talking, he was loud because of the suits that he had on, right? So, and he said that Marjorie changed how he dressed. She changed how he behaved, how he acted, how he talked, how he spoke. Just a lot of things that she elevated him, right? So in his own words, Marjorie elevated him, which means she added value to his life, right? So Marjorie, even though she had kids, she still brought value to him. So still, she brought more than just her womb, right? She came to the table with more than just herself. She added value to him. He didn't start getting all these big deals until he married Marjorie. He, attributed a lot of that to her, right? In his own words, he said that, if it wasn't for her, a lot of these deals he got, he probably wouldn't have gotten. Idiot. But yeah, if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for her, like he said, a lot of them deals that he got, he probably wouldn't have gotten. So you can sit up here and tell guys a woman needs to bring her womb to the table, but your wife didn't. Your wife brought more than just her womb, right? So what he's saying, a lot of stuff Steve said, that's why I say you can't really listen to Steve, man, because he double talks, right? He'll say one thing that makes sense, but then he'll go back and say something totally crazy that don't make no sense. He telling guys that you should accept a woman that just bring herself to the table. But in his own words, he just admitted that Marjorie brought more than just herself to the table. He didn't just accept Marjorie for her womb, for just being herself. You know what I mean? She came with more. She helped elevate him. And the same with his mom. His mom elevated his dad. So it's like, I don't know. Like I said, he's just talking out the side of his neck. That's what he's doing. That's basically what Steve does. Steve is just talking out the side of his neck. Because we already know, we already see it. These women now today, man, that's all they talk about is day to table. Day to table, I'm the table, accept me for me. Accept me for who I am, with all my bodies, with my used womb, You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chantel Simone. With the used wound, you know, and they think that's all they need to bring. And here's Steve co-signed. That's basically what he just co-signed, right? He co-signed. You know, now these women really gonna start acting a fool, talking about, well, Steve said it. Steve said it. He said we are the table. Come on, man. You're doing a disservice, Steve. You're doing an injustice. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stay. You gotta stay on code, Steve. You're going off script. You know, I mean, it's stupid. But yeah, you know, he's doing more damage than he is doing good by saying that. You know. He's doing more damage than he's doing good. You know, like I said, if anybody paid attention to that interview, I mean, he said it out of his own mouth. You know, he said how his mom elevated his dad. He talked about how Marjorie elevated him. But then, at the very end, he blurted out some BS. You know what I'm saying? Blurted out some BS about women on the table. They are able to you know, bring in another life, so that's why that's all they need to bring is themselves, because they're able to have kids. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just supposed to accept a woman? Okay, you're able to have kids, okay? Just like any other woman out there. You know what I mean? But like I said, these women don't value their own self. They don't value their own womb. You know what I'm saying? But we supposed to value it. When they don't value it, they come to the table with shit like I said, you know, ran through. The womb is no good. You know, all these bodies that they've accumulated over the years. You know, all these different men, and like I said, some of them will come with 3 or 4 kids. But you on the table? I'm supposed to believe that? I'm supposed to go with that? You know, according to Steve. We're supposed to be cool with that. We're supposed to be cool with accepting a woman, you know, with a used womb, because, you know, that makes her the table. Right? Nah, I don't think so. I'm not buying that. So, you know. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to talk to you guys about that, man. Drop some comments down below. Let me know what y'all think about Steve. Steve and his accepting women because all they can do is give kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm a woman, so y'all should just accept me. I bring myself to the table. I'm a woman, so I'm the table. And so all Steve did was, you know, he just put another microphone in they little bullhorn. You know what I'm saying? He just co-signed for them. Because a lot of them believe they the table anyway. A lot of them believe all they got to do is show up. Now Steve up here echoing the same thing. Not a good look. Okay? But yeah, like I said, y'all drop some comments down below. Tell me what y'all think about that. And I'll holler at you guys in the next one. It's your boy Jay Larone. Y'all please be good to yourself. By all means, let's be good to one another. Y'all peace out. Have a good day.